Andy Newen hunched over his rusty fishing rod, the river's musky water lapping at the muddy bank like a lazy tongue. At 40, he was a short, wiry Vietnamese man who'd traded the busty streets of Hanoi for the grinding monotony of Michigan's auto factories decades ago. His days blurred into nights of sweat-soaked shifts, assembling parts that meant nothing to him. On his time off, like this crisp autumn Saturday, he drowned the emptiness in cheap whiskey. The bottle sat half empty beside his tackle box, its amber liquid sloshing with each cast of his line. He was after carp today, big, ugly bottom feeders that fought like hell when hooked. The sun dipped low, painting the woods in shades of orange and shadow. Andy belched, the alcohol burning pleasantly in his gut. His pole twitched once, but he ignored it, staggering to his feet. Nature called, urgent and unyielding. He stumbled into the tree line, unzipping his jeans and letting them pool around his ankles. Warm urine splashed against a fallen log, steam rising in the cooling air. He chuckled to himself, swaying slightly, oblivious to the rustle in the underbrush. It came without warning, a massive shadow erupting from the ferns. The black bear, sleek and muscled, over 6 feet tall on its hind legs, slammed into him like a freight train. Andy's scream choked off as claws raked across his chest, shredding his flannel shirt and the skin beneath. Blood sprayed into hot arcs. He fell backward, pants tangling his legs, exposing him vulnerably. The bear's jaws clamped onto his thigh, teeth sinking deep into muscle and bone. Andy thrashed, his fists pounding futilely against the bear's fur-matted hide. "No, get off!" he gasped. But the words dissolved into gurgles as the bear shook him like a rag doll. Panic fueled his drunken haze and terror. The bear's eyes, black beads of primal hunger, locked onto his. It released his leg, only to lunge for his torso, paws pinning him down. Claws tore through his abdomen, spilling loops of intestine onto the leaf-strewn ground. Andy's hands clawed at the dirt, trying to crawl away, but the bear's weight was immovable. Its breath, hot and fetid with the scent of rotting meat, washed over his face. In a final savage twist, the bear seized his neck in its maw, muscles strained, jaws crunching through vertebrae with a sickening crack. Andy's body went limp. But the bear wasn't done. With a powerful yank, it ripped his head clean off, the spine trailing like a bloody rope. The head rolled a few feet away, eyes wide in eternal shock. The bear dragged the decapitated corpse deeper into the woods, caching it partially under a pile of branches and leaves, a meal for later. The river continued its indifferent murmur, Andy's fishing pole forgotten on the bank. What's up, guys and gals? Iceman here. Welcome to Horrors of the North. This is my new YouTube channel, so make sure you like this video and subscribe to this page. And paw that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. These are the best horror stories on YouTube, so let's get into it. A week later, the park remained open. Whispers of a missing fisherman dismissed as urban legend by locals. Ella Thompson clocked out of her shift at the hardware store, her apron smeared with sawdust and paint flecks. At 27, she was autistic, her world a symphony of routines and sensory delights. The store's aisles of tools and lumber provided structure, but nature was her true escape. She hummed a tuneless melody as she slid into her beat-up Honda, the engine coughing to life. The drive to the river was short, the same spot she'd visited countless times to commune with the wild. Ella parked and stepped out, her sneakers crunching on gravel. The air was crisp, laced with the earthly scent of decaying leaves. She loved this, the freedom to wander, to sing and dance without judgment. "Hello, friends," she called, twirling down the trail, her arms outstretched. Birds chirped in response, or so she imagined. "Come out, little animals. Ella's here to play." Her voice echoed through the trees, a joyful lilt that masked the underlying solitude of her life. She skipped along, mimicking a ballet she'd seen on TV, her curly hair bouncing with each step. Deeper into the woods, the path narrowed, overgrown with brambles. Ella didn't mind. She pushed through, still singing. Her foot caught on something soft and yielding. She tumbled forward, face planting into the damp earth. "Oof!" she exclaimed, pushing herself up. A foul stench hit her like a wall, putrid, like spoiled meat left in the sun. Wrinkling her nose, she looked down. Half buried under branches and dirt was a mangled carcass, bloating and crawling with maggots. Tatters of clothing clung to the remains, and the torso was eviscerated, ribs exposed like broken fingers. Ella's heart shuddered. She scrambled back, her hands sinking into the muck. A few meters away, nestled against a tree root, was a human head. Andy's head. The skin was mottled green and black, lips peeled back in a rictus grin. The eyeballs had rotted out, leaving empty sockets that stared accusingly. Flies buzzed in and out of the gaping mouth. Recognition dawned. This was no animal. This was a person, decayed and discarded. A scream tore from her throat, raw and piercing, shattering the forest's quiet. It echoed, bouncing off trees, alerting something primal. From the shadows, a low growl rumbled. Ella whipped around, her eyes wide. The black bear emerged, its fur matted with old blood, lips curling back to reveal yellowed fangs. It had claimed this territory, feasting on Andy's remains, and now this intruder had disturbed its lair. Ella bolted, adrenaline surging through her veins. "Help! Someone!" she wailed, crashing through the undergrowth. Branches whipped her face, drawing blood, but she ran, her legs pumping furiously. The bear charged after her, its massive paws thudding against the ground like thunder. It was faster than she imagined, closing the gap in seconds. Ella glanced back, terror twisting her features. The beast leaped, tackling her from behind. She hit the ground hard, the air exploding from her lungs. The bear's claws dug into her shoulders, pinning her face down. Ella thrashed, her screams muffled by dirt. "No, please," she sobbed, but the bear ignored her pleas. The jaws clamped onto her arm, twisting until bones snapped. Pain exploded, white, hot, and all-consuming. She managed to wrench free, rolling onto her side, kicking wildly, one foot connected with the bear's snout, eliciting a roar of fury. For a fleeting moment, she staggered to her feet, limping away, blood trailing from her mangled limb. But the bear was relentless. It pounced again, its weight crushing her into the earth. Claws raked down her back, shredding her shirt and flesh in a long, gory furrow. Ella gasped, her body convulsing. The bear didn't stop there. With savage precision, it drove its paws into her spine, digging deeper, muscles tearing like wet paper. Blood pooled beneath her, soaking the soil. The claws punched through her back, ribs cracking, organs rupturing. It kept going, excavating a hole straight through her torso, into the ground below. Dirt mixed with viscera, a grotesque tunnel of death. Ella's screams faded to whimpers, her vision blurring as life ebbed away. In a final act of dominance, The bear lifted its leg, urinating over her still twitching form. The acrid stream soaked her hair, her wounds, marking her as territory claimed. The forest fell silent once more, the bear lumbering back to its cache. Ella's body lay broken, another forgotten victim in the wild's indifferent embrace. The river whispered on, carrying secrets downstream.